rape your father, they rape your brother, they rape your sister, they rape your auntie, they rape your auntie, they rob you of all your jewels, they take your car if you have a license firearm, they take your firearm, and they go on with that. And those that are supposed to vote for this bill, for the next year, you all are pleased and it's okay with that. What are they smoking? You cannot come and tell Saieed, well, hear this now. Saieed, mass mandatory, here we go. They come to an end. And then you come and tell me, here we go on side. If you go to the supermarket, the grocery, or the malls, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you go to a pharmacy, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you're traveling, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the transportation hub, you have to wear your mask. If you're going to church side, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the school side, you're wearing your mask. If you go to a barber salon, you go to the theater, you're wearing your mask. Which dum-dum in Trinidad and Tobago will go in a theater and buy a popcorn and a juice and sit down and wear a mask? Thanks! If every councillor go through their constituency, do video clips like this and send it for us, I'm gonna be so happy just to play it on our program on a Wednesday night. You know why I would be happy? I will be filled with joy in my heart. You know why? Because the councillor is getting off their butts and they are actually going and doing some live video shoots. Real Talk took the initiative to find out suppliers of wheat in the world that National Flour Mill could go to. So now Romano is saying the company is not going to raise any price in the near future. Why? Why? Is it because the S-boss and they realize now that, hey, it is in the public domain that we could go right Mexico and buy flour and wheat? We could go right China and buy wheat? I am about change. And thus far, Real Talk is very effective in Trinidad and Tobago coming towards making changes for the citizens. Public Utility Minister Marvin Gonzalez have urged the population to appreciate and be grateful for the availability of the utilities. This, as Gonzalez recalled, time in his life when he had to fetch water using a bucket from a nearby river. Gonzalez, I want you to understand something. I want you, Mr. Gonzalez, to understand something. You are being paid thousands of dollars by public utility, by the finance ministry, to govern WASA. Come on. To govern WASA, I want you to understand that you ain't going in no office for no free code. You are being paid. Do not tell me that I, Saieed, have to be grateful for the water I get it. Let me tell you something, Gonzalez. Every 4 months, I have to pay $400 and I get water once a bloody month. So don't come on a media briefing and say, Saieed, you have to be contented. You have to be happy. Marvin, the next best thing for you to do is to resign and get the hell out of here. Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saeed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, viewers. It's a fantastic night tonight, Trinidad and Tobago. It's very cold on the outside. For those of you who are on the outside, it is very, very cold. But nevertheless, we are a tropical country. Some days it is cold, some days it is hot, some days it is in between. But nevertheless, viewers, government extend property tax. The Finance Ministry, in a press release on September 23rd, has announced an extension of the time period for paying property tax. Did we get a relief? No, you're still paying property tax. The original deadline date of September 30th has been extended to November 29th, which was published on September 22nd. The ministry said subsequently, owners and occupiers of residential land in receipt of notice of assessment from the Board of Inland Revenue, BIR, have until November 29th to pay tax without incurring any penalties. So Trinidad and Tobago, did you get a relief? No. You did not get a relief. You still have to pay property tax. And I want to let you understand something. I want you to keep this in mind. And I want you to tell me, Trinidad and Tobago, if this is right. Our Minister of Finance, Clongenbert, went to Parliament, brought out his legislation that would get him exempted. Is that right? Also went to Parliament to bring out another legislation that you have to pay $5,000 if you fail to pay property tax as a criminal offense. Have you not been bullied? This is your property. And also in September or October, somewhere around there, I believe the Revenue Authority will come on stream. So you would also be bullied. And in 5 years' time, you do not pay taxes. They're going to come and bully you now for your property. Is this setting well with you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago? I am asking you this. Is this setting well with you? Now understand this. Pensioners, you may or may not be exempted from this. And I keep telling you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, how do you allow someone to go to Parliament to bring out legislations to bully you? I said I'm not paying no property tax. You can say what you want. I am not doing it. You cannot go to Parliament to bring out a legislation to bully me. Because if I don't pay my property tax, it becomes a criminal offense. Nah, you had to be mad. I ain't robbed nobody. I did not rob anybody. I did not beat anybody. I did not abuse anybody. So do not tell me I will have to face a criminal offense. These people are exempted. These people cannot give account for money being spent. But if I don't pay it, I will be charged as a criminal offense. Moving along. Know that the deadline to pay property tax is November 29th. Many property owners are still complaining that the cost is too high to bear. After sources visited some venue office, there were visible shorter lines, but some people, especially pensioners, say they still pained with having to pay hundreds and even thousands of dollars in property tax. Listen to this.
We take whatever little money we have and we come and do it.
And we are pensioners, all alone getting pension. Because of food, you have to pay light, water, thing, and look at the amount of money they charge you just to live.
It's too high for poor people like us.
And a yearly thing too. I want them throwing us on the street.
On that, yeah.
Because it seems as though that's the intention. So if you can't pay for it, they take away your home.
So Trinidad and Tobago, you heard what the gentleman said? I wanted to touch back on this so you would understand. He is fearful of being thrown out into the streets. His own property, his own property. He is fearful of the government coming to throw him out of his own property. How many of him are there in Trinidad and Tobago presently? How many of him? How many of you feel the same way? Let me tell you something. You see, in months to come, when the light bill go up, and the water rate go up, and sending the kids to school, prices go up, and groceries go up, and taxi fares go up, because the budget is coming out very soon. Let me see how many of you will be able to live properly. Let me see. I will be right here and I'll be watching that. And then you'll be saying, you know, Saieed really tell me this. At the revenue office in Tunapuna, an owner said property tax for her family 3-bedroom home in Champlain is more than $2,000. She said an extension date doesn't change the fact that you still have to pay property tax. She asked, why should we have to pay property tax? Why? Among everything else. Listen to this.
An extension date doesn't change the fact that you still have to pay it. I'm being honest. It is ridiculous, but I have to come and pay it until better could be done about it. And I really hope that they change it and they stop with that, because too much things you're paying for and everything expensive at the end of the day. Why should we have to be paying property tax? Understand? Why? Amongst everything else.
Some persons are complaining that both office in Port of Spain and Tunapuna was still only accepting cash or checks and no links. There were also signs indicating cash only and no links at both offices. Some people who wanted to pay with their bank card were turned away. However, Embo took to social media to say this is what people preferred. That's what I'm telling all you clung in birds will make all you go broken, you know. Clung in birds telling the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago that they prefer to pay cash. Remember a few weeks ago, clung in birds, I showed you a video clip where clung in birds said that 50 or 60% of us in Trinidad and Tobago still save money under the mattress, still save it in a bank, in a pan. They don't go to the bank. I remember that we had a video clip about 2 or 3 weeks back when he said a certain percentage of Trinidadians don't go to the bank to save money. We're looking for it to get back for you. So, Clungenbert here now took to his social media to say this is what people prefer, that they prefer to pay cash. Let me tell you something. You see what Clungenbert said, I raised gas once and twice and 3 times and all them a riot? Clungenbert was expecting you all to riot. You see, but the thing is here is not France. We would swallow our boulders and stay quiet. I not swallowing no boulders. Me ain't swallowing no hot water. I will tell you as it is. Caller, good night.
Yeah, good night, Mr. Saieed Ali.
Go right ahead, you're live.
Saieed Ali, I want to ask a question.
Talk to me.
Property tax. Who paid 2,000? Who paid 5,000? Who paid 3,000? Who is exempted? And I am not hearing anything from our opposition leader on property tax. Why? This our opposition leader is having meetings upon meetings all over the country.
Thank you.
I am not hearing our opposition leader opposing property tax. And why? And among a lot of other things, our opposition leader is not saying anything about a lot of other things. Right? And what is going on? Is it a setup with opposition and government to cripple Trinidadians and bring me back down to poverty line of not having current and water? Saieed Ali, one more thing I want to say in your show.
They're quiet.
Saieed Ali, we have a Minister of National Security and a Minister in the Ministry of National Security. And Saieed Ali, both of them is Rasta.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, my friend. Where's the opposition who love all you? As the caller say, where's the opposition? We will fight for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Where are they? We are hearing them. We are hearing them. So Trinidad and Tobago, just how Clungenbert took to his social media to say, the people prefer pay cash. I'll listen to this video now.
The research tells us that 75% of our population save to some extent. I'm surprised. Which means that in the world context, Trinidad and Tobago is a high savings economy. And we are. Those of you who know anything about the United States, for example, know that most people in the United States work from paycheck to paycheck. They don't save. In fact, they're in debt. They all run up high credit card debt. But with our 75% of our population saving, as you heard, an astonishing 2% of that 75% choose to save the money at home. That's not safe and it's not productive.
Clungenbert telling all you saving all your money home. That's what Clungenbert telling all you. You know why? You know why? He wants to tax every last 1 cent that all you save. Trust me, he wants to tax it. Aye. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Saeed.
We're right ahead, you're live.
Mr. making the contribution here this evening, yes, because Mr. Imbert wants to run a cashless system in this country so that everybody money will have to pass through the treasury.
Correct.
He will see what is it they're making, what is it they have, because in his anticipation, everybody have money took away hiding in the house.
Correct.
And everybody's running a business and they have it under cover and so forth.
Correct.
So he wants all business to be registered. Now, when he come out with that strategy, that all business has to be registered, you know how much of business places outside, small people outside, will have to come out from the road, from making the honest living, from doing whatever small business are doing, because crime is going to escalate more again. Because at the end of the day, these people will not have an income, they won't have nothing to get. And they can't do anything because they're going to use the police, they manipulate the system, have the police and them outside, they're pressuring the people.
Correct.
And bringing things more on the people, on the people's side. So the people are going to get frustrated and are going to do things more than they would have done. Listen to this now. You have the opposition leader, the caller was saying, where is the opposition leader? She have a right to be mummed in a sense because of the reason. Because no matter what them say, remember they have, the government have the majority in the parliament. And they use that as a weapon against the opposition and the people in the country. So what them say goes and how them go about it goes and nobody can oppose them or say anything about it. The things about it with the people in the country to stand up and get together, they having division and they continue with the same stupidity. That they even talking and they're saying that they should do this and they should do that, but how much of them coming out to do something? How much of them is coming out to stand up and say, well, okay, let me get together, let me form a group here, let me form a group there in different communities and protest against the situation that's going on here? How much of them is going to do it? They are not doing it, but they keep talking, and that is the problem we have in this country. It's only talk, and no action, and that is what's happening where we are today and where we're going. So what the government is doing is taking full advantage of every citizen in this country here and doing them what they want to do. But here what? Election coming, and let me see what happens. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my friend. Now, I would agree with you concerning your position, but my 2 cents in it is that the opposition, whether the parliament belongs to the PNM or not, the opposition have the right to come out and say something to represent the people. Move a motion that the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago would witness that the PNM doesn't want to agree with the UNC. They have to move a motion in parliament to show the citizens that they're standing up for them at all costs. And that is what they are not doing it. Now, the second thing you said, concerning the people coming out. Now, I'll tell you this, caller. The union in Trinidad and Tobago is the biggest organization in Trinidad and Tobago. The union leaders could unite hundreds of thousands of people. My question is, why are they not doing it? That is my question. Why are they not doing it? Why are they not representing their workers on a different level? Not just job-wise, not just industrial court-wise, but on a different level. Represent your workers because of cost of living. Represent your workers because you're not getting the proper roads. Represent your workers because you're not the healthcare. I can't say deteriorated, it's gone. Where are the union leaders that represent hundreds of thousands of people in Trinidad and Tobago? Where are they? Because they will now buy a new brand truck for 2,000, put in the car and go down there with the truck bus, you know. They are to pay the same thing, you know. They're not exempted. They are not ministers. So the union leaders of Trinidad and Tobago, let's think about that. Think about that. Call a good night. Hello? Stick again, the click one time. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break. But when we come back, we're going to hear Imbert question UNC. Confusion over online payment after this.
Become a member of Real Talk Credit Union, now located at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chaguanas. Open a fixed deposit with Real Talk Investments and get 4% on interest with interest payment being paid up front. Get in contact with us at 238-6716, 231-6219 or 339-1670. Real Talk Credit Union Cooperative Society Limited. Plant a seed today for a better tomorrow.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chaguanas or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery. At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Real Talk viewers, remember viewers, we at Real Talk here, we are offering you 4% on our fixed deposits. Whether you invest $10,000, $20,000, $50,000, $100,000, $200,000, even $300,000 or $400,000, or even $1 million if you invest, you are getting your interest payment up front. It's only we at Real Talk Financing does that, you know. Nobody else does that in Trinidad and Tobago, you know. We offer upfront interest. That is what we offer. Upfront interest. And the thing is, you're not getting a 3 months payment or a 6 months payment. No. You're not getting that. You invest for 5 years or 10 years, we will calculate it, how much you're coming up to, and you're getting it in a lump sum upfront. Upfront, imagine you invest $1 million and I get $100,000 interest upfront. Upfront, you have $100,000 to play with. And you still don't have to touch your principal. Imagine that. You ain't touching your $1 million, but you have $100,000 in your hand to play with. Where else you getting that? Nowhere else but Real Talk. So viewers, remember that we are Real Talk. That is how we do it. I am here to change the way banking operates in Trinidad and Tobago. Now, there are different steps that our credit union is taking, but I'm just waiting to finalize 1 or 2 little this and that and paperwork here and there, and then we're going to do things different again. I'm here to lead, you know. I didn't here to mix with the rest. I'm here to lead. Real Talk here to lead, and we started something different. upfront interest on fixed deposit. Where are you getting that? That is the first step. That is the first step we took. Excuse me. Remember that. You have your cash put down? Not a problem. You want to make an investment? Not a problem. Our numbers will be on screen, viewers. Contact our office. Set up an appointment. Or you can even call me at 3391670. Call the central office 2386716. And get in touch with us. The best investment you would make is at Real Talk with your interest up front. That is what you're going to get. So as we go back to our program tonight, Finance Minister Klangenberg has questioned what he described as confusion in the opposition, UNC, over the issue of online payment. In a post on Twitter on September 23rd, he said, "The irony is that while the leader of the opposition has declared that she is opposed to any transition or to cashless payment in Trinidad and Tobago, because in her mind, this would compromise private banking information. The UNC opposition Couva South MP is demanding online payment. Opposition leader Kamala Prasad Bisasa has publicly said she is against the establishment of a cashless society because it could give government the power to obtain people private financial information, and a cashless society means the control of citizens. Listen to this.
A cashless society means the control and coercion of citizens. It will destroy your freedoms, your privacy, your rights and privileges that you currently have, because you will have no control over your own money to live."
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, Couva South MP Rudy Nat in there saying, ask why there was no online method for payment of property tax. Imbert said solutions were being worked on to address them. So why Klangenberg didn't bring out this online payment before setting 30th of September as a deadline date? Why? Why Klangenberg? Why? Because you said people rather pay cash? It's so sad of you to think that, eh? Fried brains, boy. I can't believe you could think something like that, man. I can't. For an educated man like you. Just sad. So viewers, he identified increasing the capacity of District Revenue Office in collaboration with commercial banks and online payment method as some of the solution being explored. Explored, my mistake, eh? In Parliament on Friday, Imbert said by the end of October, it is expected that the Board of Inland Revenue will be able to accept payment by automated clearing house, ACH, bank transfers, and credit card. Listen to this.
In addition, the member may have heard an answer to a question in their place with respect to what we are doing to deal with online solutions such as bank transfers using ACH, credit card payments, and so on. And I did not give a time frame in the other place, but I can give a time frame here that we expect by the end of October we will be able to accept payments. Well, not we, the Board of Inland Revenue, not me, will be able to accept payments by ACH, bank transfer, credit card.
We always backward, you know. We always backward. You know who have us backward? The government. Imagine property tax for all, but nothing in place beside BIR office. And so when I started to talk about it and highlight it on television, then people that started to get smart. Did you look at the security with people having cash on them with 100 people line up in front of the BIR building? Did you look at that safety? No, you didn't. You didn't. Did you look at the old folks and them standing up? No, you did not. It's sad in a way. So Trinidad and Tobago, you think property tax is something bad? Energy Chamber President, Dr. Thakore Driver, has called for the removal of the electricity subsidy in the upcoming September 30th national budget. He said, this and other chamber recommendation will help TNT become a greener economy. If this man ain't getting mad, he ain't far. Driver said, we have to remove the subsidy on electricity in this country. He added that an increased rate does not mean a higher bill if energy efficiency policies are implemented. So before we go to this, trying to make it, well, I've already thought through it, but excuse me. When you remove subsidy from electricity, what you get? A higher rate. A higher rate. Driver said, we have to remove the subsidy on electricity in the country. He added that an increased rate does not mean a higher bill. Now, I want to know if this man get an injection from Ward 1. Trinidad and Tobago, let me explain something to you all. If, the government pays part of your light bill. If the government stop paying part of your light bill, what will you end up with? Not the amount that the government used to pay will come down to you. So when you remove the subsidy, you remove the government fee, what do you get? Not a higher bill you're going to get from TNTech because the government not paying it. And TNTech have to get that part that the government not paying. So who does it come down to? Not you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago? Think about it and you tell me for a brief second. Think about it. Call like a night.
Night, Saeed.
We're right there, you're live, my friend.
Yes, thank you. Saeed, what the opposition leader spoke about in terms of the digitization of this money, she's quite correct, because the financial system across the planet is supposed to go to quantum.
Correct.
And quantum is a different platform altogether, whereby you wouldn't have the people having access to your information.
Correct.
You wouldn't have the steal. So you find now, with that in place, they know that is coming. So they want to grab, they and the globalists and them, they want to grab at what they could get. All that, I want them to show me, Saeed, who sell them the land across the planet so that we are to pay to live here.
Thank you, my friend.
I have quite a bit to say in the future, so we will be in contact, don't worry.
Not a problem. So Trinidad and Tobago, when you remove the subsidy from the TNTech bill, as this man driver is claiming, what will you get? What will you get? This man went on to say, an increased rate does not mean a higher bill. What does it mean then? It cannot mean a green economy, because, look at this. Let's just say I am paying $6,000 or $7,000 every 2 months for electricity bill in my building in Caroni Savannah Road. When the government removes subsidy, and I have to pay now that part that the government used to pay, and then pay my original light bill on top of that, what am I going to get? I might have to dig deeper in my pocket now. So instead of me paying between $6,000 to $7,000, I may now pay between $8,000 to $10,000. Listen to what I am saying. Listen to me carefully. Call a good night.
Great program as usual.
Thank you, my friend.
I don't know if many citizens understand the meaning of extortion. So I
No,
want
they
to say
don't.
the meaning of extortion here, so the citizen will understand what this property tax is all about. The meaning of extortion is to obtain by force, threat, or by unfair means, right? This is the meaning of extortion. So the property tax, I want to know, from reading here what is the meaning of extortion, the opposition have a strong case to stop that. They could have stopped that long time. Take this matter to court. Just as you have been saying, you will take it to court as they come. And look, the evidence is here.
Correct.
They are forcefully taking money from us. They're threatening us here. They should be, Mr. Said, in a country, a third world country, a developed country like Canada, the States, England, all of them would have been arrested. You want to include the opposition for aiding and abetting with this wrongdoing, this crime against the citizens of the country. 48 years as a republic nation, 48 years of oppression from the political dictatorates of this state that we are under. Very sadly, where we have nothing to show, these politicians. I'm going to label the UNCPNM number 2, because they are standing up for nothing that is right in this country. They go there and sit. Look at the destruction to this country. Look at the destruction to human beings in this country, Nothing to celebrate. Very sad. And only oppression and sadness in this country. Opposition, get all that together. And you now talking about giving the defense force increase in salary and other benefits and so on. What you should be doing is telling the nation you want to see a reflection of the national anthem in the biggest URP gang in this country, the defense force, followed by the police of the second largest URP gang in this country. That is what you should be telling the nation, and how you will fix it. Mr. Said, great program. Keep up the great work you are doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my friend. So, viewers, he added that an increased rate does not mean a higher bill. If energy efficiency policies are implemented, what are you going to implement? Government, you're asking the government to remove subsidy. So who is going to pay Tea and Tech now? What the government is paying? Who is going to pay Tea and Tech that? Not the citizens? Listen to this, viewers.
We've got to be realistic that we have to remove the subsidy on electricity in the country. Natural gas is subsidizing. We're putting incredibly cheap natural gas into the electricity sector, which we could be earning a lot more forex for if we put it into the petrochemical sector and the LNG sector. We need to remove that subsidy. It'll help drive energy efficiency. An increased rate does not mean a higher bill if you implement energy efficiency policies.
When you remove the subsidy, who pays it? Who pays it? It comes down to the citizens. It rolls over to the citizens. Driver also noted that the subsidy can be in place for the poorest household, but better off household in the top tariff levels do not need electricity subsidy. You hear that? And commercial business should be paying more the market rate of electricity. So what we're trying to do? You're trying to kill the business people already. Because a normal household is not paying green levy. A normal household is not paying VAT. A normal household is not paying corporation tax. A normal household is not paying green fund levy. So what are you really trying to do now? Tell me. Tell me. Are you for the citizens or are you against the businessman? Which one? You tell me. Call a good night.
Yes. Mr. Saeed, good night.
Yes, go right ahead.
Mr. Saeed, we have a government in Trinidad and Tobago that is reading a $59 billion budget for the year, for 1 year.
Yes.
And this country have 1.4 million people.
Correct.
Why have poor people in this country?
Correct.
Why have poor people in this country, Mr. Saeed? You do the math. $59 billion is for a year budget, and this country have 1.4 million people.
Yep.
I am not a bachelor's degree holder, and I don't know mathematics like like we Minister of Finance. But look how simple that math is. You tell me.
I understand what you're saying.
Thank you.
I understand. So now Trinidad and Tobago, listen to what driver have to say now concerning commercial business should be paying more the market rate for electricity. Listen to this.
Leave the subsidy in place for the poorest households. There's a good reason to subsidize electricity for the poorest households, but better off households in the top tariff levels do not need an electricity subsidy, and businesses, commercial businesses, should be paying the market rate for the natural gas. Still means we'll have very cheap electricity.
But sometimes that is wonder, you know. Sometimes I do wonder. I do. So we are going for a short commercial break, viewers. But when we come back, the PM Constitution consultation delayed to next year. More of this when we come back.
Become a member of Real Talk Credit Union, now located at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chagonas. Open a fixed deposit with Real Talk Investments and get 4% on interest with interest payment being paid up front. Get in contact with us at 238-6716, 231-6219 or 339-1670. Real Talk Credit Union Cooperative Society Limited. Plant a seed today for a better tomorrow.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chagonas or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on a roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery. At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Trying to make a welcome back to Real Talk. Today a little under the weather, but nevertheless, the show must go on. It must go on. The voice may be down a little bit, but nevertheless, you know, I love coming. I love telling you all the truth. I love coming and telling you all what to expect. I love telling you what the government is doing, what you should accept, what you should not accept. I am trying to help you to understand the cost of living in society. I'm trying to help you to understand the level of crime in our country. I'm helping you to understand how you should stand up and face what is coming. This is what I'm trying to educate you on. And for the last 6-7 years on television, I've done a pretty damn good job. Damn good job. Everything I set out to do, I accomplish it. I accomplish it on television. So hear this now. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has said a series of public consultation on the constitutional reform that was due to start in November will now be held at an unspecified future date early next year. He laid a report on a series of pre-consultation town meetings held by community on constitutional reform towards formulating the terms of reference of the eventual consultation exercise. Rowley said, the committee chaired by former Speaker Sinanan SC held a nationwide meeting and received correspondence since being appointed by Cabinet on January 25th. I'll listen to this.
Subsequent to the receipt of this document, the Cabinet agreed on August 8, 2024, to the extension of the life of the committee to December 31, 2024. This extension was mainly for the purpose of furthering the improvement in national education on the contents of our national constitution. To this end, some members of the committee have already appeared on national television and engaged in useful discussions which benefited the public in understanding the content and nuances of this fundamental document, which we commonly refer to as the Constitution.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, he also stated that the government accept the recommendation and has hereby laid the report in its Honorable House today. As it is postponed, the national consultation to a date to be fixed early next year. Listen to the PM one more time.
It is the recommendation of the committee that this event should take place a little bit later for two reasons. One, the availability or unavailability of members of the committee to participate in the process, and two, the requirement for more time to advance public education. The government accepts this recommendation and is hereby laying the report in the House today as it postpones the national consultation to a date to be fixed early in the new year. I wish to take this opportunity, Madam Speaker, to very sincerely thank all the members of the committee who have given up their time and expertise in the furtherance of the advancement of this very timely, necessary, and useful exercise.
Caller, good night.
Hello, good night, Saieed.
Go right ahead, you're live.
This property tax, it's bringing a lot of poor people to the knees. There's a lot of people in this country that is really struggling. And it's like the government wants you to live on a certain amount of money per month. They don't want you to have anything more. And then with registration of businesses, what about people that who is not Trinidadian and has business like by the roadside? Are they going to register?
Well, I am hoping so, because he say all business.
And then with another thing that I always question myself about. Why does government, whichever government, treat themselves differently from population? Because we are all a Trinidadian.
I understand
In
that.
the sense that retirement age is at 65.
Correct.
Why does government ministers work after 65?
True.
Why don't they retire at age 65?
Correct.
And why does the property tax being exempted from those ministers?
Ah, good question.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, my dear. So now you understand Trinidad and Tobago, that ministers are not exempted. I mean, ministers are exempted, my mistake. Now you understand? We're the fools of Trinidad, you know. The population, the people, we are the fools of Trinidad and Tobago. Ministers alone have education. They alone have education. That is why Clongenbert is doing to you, the citizen, what he thinks is best. And that is what? Going to Parliament to bring a legislation to put $5,000 penalty as a criminal offense if you fail to pay property tax. Like I say, I am not paying no property tax. I and Colin will end up in the court together. You know who's going to summons that? The magistrate is going to summons him there. Once I am there. I do like data now. Nobody lives there. I am not paying no property tax there. Remember Miss Data? Call her good night.
Yes, sir, good night.
Go right ahead, my friend.
Saeed, two things, right?
Tell me.
Yes, sir. I was reading on the papers today. DCP Benjamin come out and say mentally people might feel that crime not under control.
Crime not under control.
What is wrong with these police and them? Them like they have some slack screw in their head or something.
Crime not under control.
But this is what he's saying. He's saying people mentally people might feel so.
Mentally,
physically, crime under control. I don't know, and I ask him a question here because I make much sense to me what he's saying there. He's a big DCP.
I'll tell you this, Some people in power, they have a tongue in their mouth and they love to embarrass themselves.
Yeah, I find that was a kind of no-brainer kind of remark there. I don't understand it for a big DCP. That kind of rubbish you could be going and saying.
And they feel they're fooling somebody.
But anyhow, beside that, that police service is a waste of time. I can tell you that. When the commissioner comes straight down, real failure. But anyhow, put that aside.
Tell me.
Talking about property tax, right? Let me tell you something, right? The citizens of this country don't mind the property tax. We don't mind paying it, you know. But you see, the problem lies that they're squandering all the money. They're spending it on big projects where they're getting certain people getting kickbacks, certain people charging 10 and 20 times the amount of money that the actual project costing. So when they finish a project, they don't have to work again for the next 5 years. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? And then they come in now, the tax we, to dip into we pocket now, to pull back the treasury. After we don't pay so much of tax on everything that we own in we property. Every single thing you buy, you pay VAT on it. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? If you want to buy a property, you pay stamp duty on it. And like the last caller said, they exempt themselves.
Yes.
So them throw we in a hole now, and then exempt themselves. And let me tell you something, property tax is only tip of the iceberg here. When you see they start with water, and they start with tea and tetri, and everything starts going up, and people can't make, because groceries right now, off by the charts. You can't go to the grocery and spend $1,000. You know $1,000 in your right outside?
A handbag.
2 handlebars, 2 plastic handlebars, and you're walking out of that now. So you tell me 5 years from today, let me tell you something, if people smart, they better vote out the government next election. Because anytime this Prime Minister come back here for the next 5 years, hear what's going on. Then the people ain't gonna make it. Anyway, side, you enjoy your night.
Thank you, my friend. Same to you. St. Augustine MP Khadija Amin have stated that approximately $43.6 million is being taken away from all 14 local government corporations and will be used for the PNM benefits. In response, Rural Development and Local Government Minister Faris Al-Rawi says Amin's claim reflect a misunderstanding of the fact which will be spelled out in the 24-25 budget debate. A memo said Finance Minister Clongenbert had approved the transfer of $43.6 million from one head of expenditure under the Rural Development and Local Government Ministry to another. I've been asked why this money was being transferred to CPEP and RDC ahead of the presentation of the 2024-2025 budget in the House of Representatives on September 30th. She said the money is being taken from all 14 local government corporations. The memo showed a relocation of money from 12 corporations which are controlled by the PNM were excluded. The memo also showed the PNM controlled corporation all had monies relocated from them. The other 8 corporations from which money was relocated are controlled by the UNC. She said $43.6 million will be given to the PNM again in the CPEP and the RDC to help the party win the next general election. Trinidad and Tobago, in the coming days, we will get some more information concerning this. And the corporation, the chairman corporation in UNC areas, if you all can confirm this, that money has been taken away from your corporation, feel free to call the program. Feel free. Apart from me saying it on television, I want you to call in to confirm it. That is what I want you to do. Call in to confirm it so people would understand, yes, the money have been taken away from our corporation side. Call in and let the people know. But I just had something I hit in earlier. I'm going to get the real source coming on later on. Prime Minister has said the Public Procurement and Disposal of Public Property Act 2015 does in fact allow instance of a non-competitive tender award in some circumstances. You know what I mean? The government could give what they want. That is what it means. I'll listen to this.
The operative word there is appears. The Public Procurement and Public Disposal of Public Property Act provides very clear provisions in the Act and regulations for single sole tendering in very specific instances. The government expects that every ministry, statutory authority and state enterprise will abide by the provisions of the law.
Trinidad and Tobago, we will also get some more from that in later on next week. So viewers, we are out of time for tonight, but nevertheless, until we meet again, good night.